All right, welcome to DeanBodi Show. DeanBodi Show. Hey, everybody, what's going on? Hey, listen, we're starting a new week. We're coming at you. DeanBodi.com, 800-878-9698. Let's get this thing kicked off on the right foot. Who's the good girl? Good girl, Bodi. Good girl, Bodi. She's the best girl in the world. Oh, yeah. DeanBodi.com, 800-878-9698. Bodi Hotline, Bodi Fun Line, getting the week started. Give me a call, Bodi said. Super duper. She loves you line. Say your first name, where you're from, sing your little zippity-doo-dah, do your little sing-along, we'll sing it with you. Bodi and I would love to join in and sing your little song. We'll do it with you. That's how we do it over here, and we'll make it a feature on the show. All right, DeanBodi.com, again, is the website. We got the links on there. I want to get you over to the podcast, and Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're on all the platforms. And the social link will get you over to the YouTube channel, DeanBodi _ show, YouTube channel. Hey, listen, we got the palm trees behind us today instead of the fireplace. Wow. Why? Because Bodi likes it. Why? Because Bodi likes to hear the ocean waves, and she likes to chill out by the beach and the ocean. We can travel wherever we want to with the YouTube. It's really cool, man. And we do that. Let me tell you, when the sun's coming down, or if we're up early and the sun's coming up, you go on the YouTube and you find the Ultra 4K, whether it's the sunrise or sunset, and you start to see the different things they get on there. People have taken videos of everything. Man, I found this crazy video the other day that came across my feed, and I put it on the big screen. It was New York in 1911, and it was wild because they did it in I don't know what they shot it in. I think it was frames per second, 60 frames per second, but whoever got it dialed in did a great job. And you see the way it was back then. You still saw some horse and buggy. You saw some trains. And you saw some of the old-time cars. It was like a mix of a little bit of everything. It was crazy. Everybody was dressed up in suits and hats, man. Everybody was dialed in, when it came to the clothes. Way different than today. The whole vibe, the whole atmosphere. And this really, I don't know, really wasn't that long ago. The leaps and the jumps that we have taken since then. But I'm telling you, the city was busy, people running around doing their thing, cars going over the crazy little bridge, over the little waterway, people conducting and doing the police officers waving along the cars that can go over the little drawbridge. People, it was funny because a lot of the people were noticing the person that was taking the video. God, it must have been one of these old-time cameras. And some of the people were kind of smiling, getting a kick out of being on the video. Others were kind of getting out of the way. This guy was shooting the landscape and thank God people capture some of this stuff, man. And it was wild. And you can go on YouTube and find all this stuff. But Bodi and I enjoy the sunrise and the sunsets. And you can get some that have the music with it or without the music and put your own music on with Alexa or whatever stereo you got cranking in the whole house. Get your boombox out and rock and roll. But it's cool, man. They got some really cool sunsets. One that we like seems to be dialed in the best for us is one it's in Hawaii and Maui. And because the sunset is very on the darker side, where it keeps the living room kind of toned down when it's time to chill out and, put your head on the pillow, and just light enough where Bodi can hear some of the waves, put the music on the Alexa, on the meditation music, and she gets that dialed in. And it's night time, okay? So listen, man, a quick update on what's going on over here. We are trying to figure this thing out. with the gout flare-ups and the keto diet and getting fat adapted and staying in ketosis, and holy moly, what a challenge. The energy is crappy. I got news for you. My energy's way down. I'm used to more of the bodybuilding style of eating, and I've been watching some of these videos lately of these guys, and let me tell you, man, I kind of miss it. Eating every 2 to 3 hours, the protein and veggies for the most part, and they're getting some rice and stuff in there here and there. A lot of stuff that on a consistent basis is not really keto friendly, but it's bodybuilding friendly. So up to like 1 hour before bed. And this kind of style, I'm going to try this keto thing a little bit longer, and it's going to be like a hybrid. And it's going to be a hybrid of, and I'm going to get into this a little bit more in just a second because we had a little bit of a challenge. It's going to be a hybrid of the bodybuilding lifestyle. It's going to be a hybrid of the keto, right? It's going to be a hybrid of the intermittent fasting. It's going to be a hybrid of what I can do, what I can't do when it comes to treat meals and all that. So here we are right now. And my adrenal glands are still not fully back 100%. I know that's affecting my energy too. So I'm kind of trying to get the data as I go through this. All right. Remember, I started the keto first week in December. So first week of February, only be 2 months in. We're getting close to really being dialed in. I've been checking my ketone levels and all that stuff with my blood check, my blow device with the acetone. And I'm dialed in. So that being said, I'm still doing the intermittent fasting twice a week. And like I'm doing today, I'm doing Tuesdays and Thursdays. And you got the one guide saying, yeah, maybe you should probably do it every day. And the science says this and the science says that. Some people do every other day, EOD. Some people do OMAD, 1 meal a day. Some people get into this 48-hour fasting or longer. And, I'm not Gandhi, okay? So, that being said, we're going to do a hybrid that works for me the best. Now, the challenge I had was I had a little gout flare-up the other day. Oh, I've been doing these fat snacks. I've been doing the bulletproof coffee. And I said, what's going on? Why am I having a flare-up today? Because I'm really staying low purine. I'm not doing like a bunch of red meat. I'm not doing a bunch of this or that. But what I noticed the common thread was the dairy, meaning the butter, okay? Even though it's grass-fed, grass-finished, and you put the butter in the bulletproof coffee for the good, healthy fats, you still, if you have a dairy allergy of any kind, you got to shut it down. I remember many years ago, and this is crazy, I haven't had a food allergy test done in forever, but I had one done we're going back to like 94, okay? I had a break from college. I went back to finish and get my degree in 94. That's when I went through, those of you that have been following me, I had a nervous breakdown. And I went into this depersonalization, derealization, crazy ride for years. And it's when your fight or flight mechanism gets locked up and you see through like a saran wrap kind of vision, where things are very hazy, not comfortable at all. And I had to deal with that for years. So I wanted to find out some answers. And part of my journey, I found this, one of the guys, Dr. Goldberg, shout out to you. And he was teaching public health at the time. And he also had a little practice of, functional medicine or the natural doctor kind of thing going, where he would do food allergy tests and he would do glucose tolerance tests and all these things and try to get you dialed in that way. So that's the route I wanted to go down. And it turned out the only thing I had an allergy to was the dairy. And it wasn't a large one. It was a slight allergy from what I remember. But now that I'm looking at this flare-up I got, I've been doing the bulletproof coffees with the butter and using the ghee in the cooking, even though it's clarified butter and really just fat, there's still trace amounts or minuscule amounts of the dairy. And if you have an allergy, you got to stay away from it. Not everybody has a problem, but I remember that from back in the day. And I found this kind of common thread with the fat snacks, with the butter in there. As they make the snacks, even though it's a healthy fat and it's keto friendly, if there's a dairy allergy that you got going on, not good. Not that we're really meant to eat dairy anyways, and plus the lactose, which is milk sugar in the dairy. So as I got caught up in this new keto thing and the bulletproof coffee, I got to be honest, I liked the ritual. It was kind of fun. I like the fact that it was tapping into the healthy fats and all of that. Is there a vegan version of the bulletproof? Oh, yeah. So removing the butter and moving that, but you can still use the MCT oil and the coconut oil, put that in the blender and froth it up and enjoy. So look, the new tweak is I got to get the dairy totally out. No dairy, none. Now, if I did it like once a month or something like that, probably wouldn't be a big deal. But here's the deal. When you're talking about the gout and the purines, which that's the next test that I'm going to go down, fasten your freaking seatbelt. Yeah, I'm making myself the guinea pig. This is not fun. This is not fun with the flare-ups and the pain. I got to walk Bodi. I don't need this limping around stuff. And as I'm trying to rebuild my body. But if I want to find out if the purines aren't a problem and the red meat's not a problem, now that I'm removing the dairy and getting that lactose out of there and all of that stuff, causing an inflammatory response, that's not good because we're going anti-inflammatory. So that being said, okay, we're not just dealing with the ketones and you might have a flare up because as you're in ketosis, initially, you're moving uric acid crystals around. That might be the problem and all that. Listen, I'm 2 months into this now, okay? And I noticed that I started those fat snacks, and they were all keto-friendly, and doing the bulletproof coffee, using some of the butter when I was cooking and the ghee. And you start adding these things up. That's why I wanted to think about the common thread, and it was the dairy, okay? Because the other high purine stuff wasn't really I was just doing some chicken, some eggs, vegetables. So that has to be it. So the new tweak is no dairy, baby, none, zero. Now, an inflammatory response due to an allergy, you can really turn your body upside down. That's a big-time inflammatory marker, and you want to remove it. So, this is what we're doing now. I have some red meat defrosting. We're going to try some red meat. We'll try a few days in a row and see if there's any problem. If there's not, well, then we know the purine thing with the red meat and the higher purine stuff is not a big deal. The dairy, that inflammatory marker that caused the flare-up, is a big deal. So as we try to figure this out, now if I have a flare-up, that means I'm going to tweak it again, and I'm going to do this hybrid thing. And because I've gone a year or more with no flare-ups before with the bodybuilding lifestyle, with the chicken, the broccoli, the green veggies, and the low purine foods. And then once in a while, I could dive into a red meat or a fish that's higher or a seafood that's higher. But I had these rules. Don't go too many days in a row of a high purine. Stay away from the sugar altogether. But if I would do that a couple too many days in a row, or dairy, or munch on some of these protein cookies at the gym, and then go to the smoothie place in the mall and get the protein shake with the way they make it with the sugar in it, and I would have some flare-ups if I went too many days in a row like that. So it gets a little tricky. And as I'm getting older, obviously the rules have to be more strict because things aren't. Now, remember this too, all right? Before I was like, I don't know, before 45 years old, early 40s, whatever, I didn't have any flare-ups. In my 30s, never. 20s, never. I remember having a conversation with my mom one time about my father. I miss you, Dad. God rest your soul. And I just wanted to bring it up because she mentioned to me he never had a problem with the gout, but he passed away at 42 years old. He wasn't there yet. It was on its way probably, but it wasn't there. I didn't have a problem at that age either. Interesting. I'm plugging these things in. So, why it wasn't happening then. And the problem is the kidneys aren't doing as good a job as they were flushing that extra uric acid out when you're having these high purine things. Listen, so look, that's the bottom line. You got to figure out what's going on. For people that don't have gout problems, this is a different conversation with you. All right? I'm going through it. I've been going through this for decades, and we're trying to figure out real live, in-person, guinea pig, and this is not fun, trust me, figuring this thing out so I can get this thing dialed in and get to the truth of the matter. Okay? While we're doing this keto stuff and all this other fun things, and you got people on there talking about you can soak everything in bacon grease and this and that, and it's not the problem. The problem is your kidneys aren't flushing them out. Okay, so how do you treat the kidneys nicer? And the liver? Well, that's when that morning drink comes in. That's when that lemon and the lemon water and the apple cider vinegar, and you also paying attention to your electrolytes throughout the day. The potassium and the calcium and the magnesium and all these things, and doing some other anti-inflammatory things, whether it's the turmeric and things like that you can add here and there. Wow, the Bulletproof guy has this collagen protein powder, which is great for, your joints and skin and ligaments and all these other things and keeping your skin nice and shiny and new. So the collagen's going to work for me. That's not a problem. And he's got the collagen bars too that don't have the dairy and all that stuff in it, but it uses the collagen. So we'll find our road where we're going to get it dialed in. And I can make the Bulletproof coffee without the butter, that's all, with the MCT oil still and all of that. We'll get it figured out. And if we have to go, more the other way, where I was eating consistently and getting back into the gym and all of that, then that's what we're going to do. Both of them take discipline either way. The keto is major discipline. The bodybuilding style of eating is major discipline, but you can be strict on both sides of the fence there. Some of these bodybuilders just eat whatever they want. They're all juiced up on roids and all this other stuff and growth hormone and things. That's a whole different animal. And that's not the route that I want to go down. So we're going to try this hybrid. We're going to figure it out. And that's what I mean. Everybody, this is no cookie cutter for anybody. You got to figure out what's going on there. And you want to get as anti-inflammatory as possible, especially when you have different issues. Now, remember, the goal is to get this dialed in with no prescription drugs, none, and have the body functioning at its optimum with no medication. That's the whole thing. So once you get down that road, then we're dialed in, okay? And that's kind of what we're going after. And, not an easy process figuring this out sometimes, man, because, you get your cravings and you miss this. And look, whatever, it's hamburgers with the bun and the sandwiches and all the stuff that I love, the Ben and Jerry's and all these things. You just got to get yourself dialed in so you know what's the trigger. And then where maybe twice a month, give yourself that treat meal, not even a treat day, a treat meal, and stay on track the rest of the time. And you figure this out, what works best for you, because there's a lot of things you can cross over and get the benefits from each of these things, which is good. Oh, computer, you decided to take a little bit of a vacation there, and let me bring you back. But anyways, this is very valuable information. No, it wasn't fun getting a flare-up the other day, so what did I do? I did the colchicine for the 1 day, an indomethacin, 1 day, and that was it. For some reason, I did the Uloric. I think it was out of habit, and I stopped it anyways. But I was like, why did I do that? Because that's a long-term whatever. But anyways, I did the 1 day. It calmed everything down. I put the thread together with the dairy. So out in the garbage went the ghee. The grass-fed butter in the garbage. All of that stuff, and those fat snacks are gone. The one thing good about the fat snacks is the little peanut butter cookies. Bodi loves them. All right. So Bodi can benefit from the anti-inflammatory properties of that MCT that's in there and some of the healthy fats and all that with a nice little snack for her. How cool is that? See, so she didn't like the lemon cookies, but she likes the peanut butter ones. And the way they're dialed in with the keto is good for her. So, hey, look, man, we're going to make it fun regardless. And I had these other things that I had whey protein, and you shake them up in the garbage because whey comes from dairy. I was drinking these cold brews from Bulletproof. It was like a latte, kind of an iced coffee. You keep them in the fridge. It's got the butter in there or the dairy in there. Gone. So a lot of stuff, it's no fun wasting money on this stuff, but you don't want to have the flare-ups anyway. As I'm figuring this thing out, now we're going to see what's going on with the red meat and where that gets dialed in when it comes to the purines. Different category than the dairy. All right, so remembering that food allergy I had back in the day, it's probably at a different level now. I mean, we're talking such a long time ago, but that was the common thread. And, you just got to pay attention to these crazy things. And if you enjoy the process of figuring this thing out and having the goal of being dialed in with no flare-ups, having a lifestyle that you enjoy, not starving yourself to death and making yourself miserable and, still trying to get the benefits from each of these things, the bodybuilding, a little vegan, the keto lifestyle, a little bit from here, bulletproof, a little here, a little there. Not one person has all the answers. And you got to realize that, and paying attention to the intermittent fasting a couple days a week. I like the benefits of that when you're talking about the health aspects of it and the autophagy and replacing bad old cells with the new cells, the regeneration, the recuperation, the rehabilitation, the reactivation, baby. So look, man, let's see what's going on over here, DeanBodi. Man, we're doing all kinds of stuff. And I wanted to get all of that stuff out because it's a lot. I'm telling you, man. So after the 1 day and the flare-up calmed down, I stopped everything and it didn't come back. So, and I stopped all the dairy and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, another treat that I can't have. Oh, well. So let's see what's going on here. Man, I had an old friend. I talked to him yesterday, way back from high school. It was really cool. Shout out to Kevin. All right. And Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. Oh, my gosh. Conor McGregor lost. Back to the Tom Brady thing real quick. Yes, he won. He's going to the Super Bowl again. I think it's his 10th Super Bowl. Holy moly. And it also happens to be, not only is it meant to be TB Tom Brady, Tampa Bay TB, Tampa Bay Buccaneers TBB, and the Super Bowl is going to be in their hometown in Tampa at their stadium. Are you serious? Way too crazy of a perfect picture. And the only person that can mess it up is Mahomes from Kansas City. And this guy is like the new Tom Brady coming up, man, with this sidearm passing Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be an exciting Super Bowl. Even with the COVID, schmovid, pandemic, schmandemic, Thank God they kept the NFL going and the UFC. Nice going Dana White for finding out about Fight Island and Abu Dhabi and keeping this train rolling. Talk about helping us keep our sanity. You know, Conor McGregor got beat by Poirier. Poirier came at him. You know what I'm thinking about Conor? It's like the hunger wasn't there like it used to be. Now he's got like $100 million in the bank. He's got his whiskey business. He's got 2 kids now, another one on the way. How do you concentrate? How are you focused with all that going on like you used to be when you're up and coming and you're hungry you want the nice things. You want your family secure and having all this stuff dialed in, you know, with the bank account and everybody's generational wealth kind of thing. Now that he's got all that, it's hard to be as hungry as you used to be. So we're going to see what happens. But nice job, Poirier. You crushed it, and you got him with that leg kick and that lower leg kick and wailed on his calf muscle and took away his legs, and that's taken away the foundation. And then after that, it was like wham, 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 TKO. Seeing my buddy Conor on the canvas was not good for me. But listen, I one thing wanted to read something here, because Conor, on the interview afterwards, he's still there, you know what I mean? And take the licks and keep on going. You know, and that's what he said. So, I mean, I think it's going to make him hungry. I think he's going to keep coming after it. And like he always does, but we'll see. He doesn't have to if he doesn't want to, man. And it's weird watching his fights and his interviews, and also his company, Proper 12 Irish Whiskey, is one of the sponsors. Talk about living large and having your company now sponsor the UFC events and all this. That's got to be a different mindset than when it used to be up and coming. And you felt the intensity and him going after everybody full force. Not quite the same but that's to be expected as you start getting your life dialed in. Man, oh man, oh man. But hey, listen, that's what's going on over here, DeanBodi. Let's see what's going on here one more time. I know we had a couple things I wanted to talk about. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine coming our way. Yeah, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Hey, Kevin, shout out to you, old high school buddy. We got to talk for a little while on the phone. It's just talking almost 40 years. Oh my gosh. And way to go, man, by getting into the high school reunions. I think he said he went to 2 of them. I never made it to any of them. It wasn't something that I really wanted to do. I don't know, later down the road, when we had old Studebaker reunions and things like that. This is a bar I used to work in Marietta, Georgia as a bartender. Those I went to. I went to 2 of those, and that was fun, 2 or 3. And but the high school reunion, I never went back. And I always wonder what that would have been like. But he said he went to a couple of them. He's got a beard down to his belly now. He's doing the whole like ZZ Top thing going on. And, you know, with the military. And thanks for your service, Kevin. It was really great hearing from you. He sent me a picture of him and his wife. And happy anniversary to you guys. You guys look great together. And hopefully one day we can see each other again and laugh about some crazy stuff back in the day as we reminisce about the 80s that I miss terribly, when we used to feel so free and the world was a whole different place. We'll get back there again. You just got to keep moving forward and not get wrapped up in the COVID schmovid pandemic schmandemic, and keep staying focused. Take care of yourself as you can take care of somebody else, and take care of your immune system. Keep your immune system strong and live a healthy lifestyle. So when things come around like the COVID schmovid, it doesn't stay around. It doesn't like strong immune systems. Okay. So let's see what's going on real quick again. I had to give a shout out to Kevin, man. And, wow. So that's pretty much it for today, I think. And the mental gymnastics, yeah, I stepped in a poopy in the sneakers. Okay. The mental gymnastics, as we call it, right? As the other day, we had the title of the other one was what? What was it? Was it mental nutrition or mental, whatever? But the mental gymnastics that I'm been playing with this whole yo-yoing of the keto, the gout, the this, the that. and getting down the road where we're not taking any prescription drugs and we got it figured out. We figured it out before, we'll figure it out again. And as things get stacked up sometimes as you get older. But you got to know what you can get away with and what you can't. And, we're going to try to get this thing figured out one way or the other. So the other day I'm walking around and Bodi, when it was after a rain, stepped in a little poopy. I mentioned this last time. The funny thing about that is later in the day, I stepped in some. What is with these sneakers that people make? They make these sneakers with these crevices on the bottom. Like, they're like 2 inches deep, as if we need them to like climb the side of a building. Or what's going on with the deep crevices? So when you step in a poopy, it goes way in there, and it's a project to clean it. Can we stop doing that? The ones that don't do that are like the Puma sneakers with the flat bottom. It's rubber. It sticks to the pavement. We don't need all these deep crevices. I don't know who's decided that this was necessary. I don't know. Anyway, not good for when you step in the poop. You know what I'm saying? So, look, man, crazy stuff. And, you got to watch out for the landmines around here. We got way too many dogs around in these neighborhoods. And it's like unbelievable. So, listen, make it a great week this week. We're going to be coming at you. Listen, don't forget to click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like what's going on over here, hey, consider subscribing. And ring that notification bell. You don't want to miss any of these shows. Why? Because these are real shows. And, if you have a minute and you get on the podcast, a 5-star rating and a nice review would be awesome. Give that algorithm a good suck on the you-know-what. And share it, share it with a friend. Share the YouTube channel with a friend. You need a break in your day? DeanBodi Show's got your back. Have an awesome day. Make it a great rest of your week. DeanBodi.com. Oh, yeah.